But that's where we leave week 13 on the prediction side. But now we head over to the power rankings, Sean. They're top 10, the bottom 5. I will start. Actually, Sean, give your bottom 5. We'll lead off with that.
All right, bottom 5. I got the Saints at 28. I got the Raiders at 29, though they are falling. They got the Giants at 30. I got the Jets at 31, and I got the Titans at 32. I think this is the same bottom 5 I had last week, but we are primed for some shifts if things don't start.
Yeah. I think again, I think we all have the same bottom 6 or 7 here. EJ has 28 through 32: Giants, Jets, Raiders, Titans, and Saints. Mike has Browns, Raiders, Jets, Saints, and Titans. And then I have Jets, Saints, Giants, Titans, Raiders. The Raiders, man, it is.
They're the one that's fall. I mean, like, realistically,
they are imploding.
The only reason they're 29 on my list is because I hate New York.
And that's fair. That is
like, I refuse to, like, should the Giants, I was like, Giants, I don't know. Jackson Dart's going to come back. He might see stars out there. I don't know.
Well, he might see stars.
And the Jets are just as bad. Like,
I mean, they
don't even know who their quarterback is, James. They paid one.
Well, the Raiders quarterback's flipping off their home fans.
That's true.
Like, it is a mess.
Yeah,
Chip
but he's
Kelly fired.
Like, he was promised Pete Carroll and success, at least some measure of it, and it has been, God. Can you imagine?
The Pete Carroll that showed up in Vegas is the Bill Belichick that showed up in Chapel Hill.
Like, oh my God! Like, imagine spending that pick on Ashton Genty and then being like, "Oh shoot, we don't have anyone to block for him."
Man, and that's the thing, man. Like, I
didn't kill Geno Smith.
I didn't want Genty to end up in Dallas because of that same fate, and man, it's bad. But Brock Bowers has been reduced to a average tight end this year.
Well, no one has time because he has to block somebody.
Like, the Geno Smith that showed up in Vegas is the Geno Smith that got knocked out in the Jets locker room.
Like, they're running 2 tight ends because they need all the linemen they can get.
It's awful. It is awful.
And they still stink.
They still stink, man. It is brutal. But yeah, it was the Raiders fell. Everybody else
and the Titans. I should have jumped the Titans in my dream list. I'd have had them above the Giants and the Jets and the Raiders with the push they had at the end of that game. But I mean, they're still bad.
They're still really bad.
They're still real bad.
All right, Sean, your top 10.
My top 10. A reluctant insertion here. The Packers at 10 is a sign that there aren't 10 great teams. They were just the best of what was left. I hung on to the Lions at 9. Probably should have put them ahead of San Francisco because I have a lot of questions there too. But 8, 9, and 10 are like the maybes. 7, the Bears belong. I got the Seahawks at 6. Colts holding on at 5 for now. They're the Bears looking good. So I got a 7-4 matchup here because I got the Eagles at 4. And then the top 3, Broncos, Patriots, who I have questions about, I'll talk about in a minute, and the Rams as the best team in football right now.
There you go. All right. EJ has from 10 to 1, 49ers, Ravens, Lions, Packers, Colts, Broncos, Seahawks, Patriots, Eagles, and Rams. Mike from 10 to 1, 49ers, Seahawks, Chiefs, Bears, Colts, Patriots, Lions, Eagles, Rams, and Broncos at number 1. For me, again, 10 to 1, 49ers, Chiefs, Seahawks, Lions, Bears, Eagles, Colts, Broncos, Patriots, and Rams.
Very similar list to mine.
Yeah, very similar. I
don't have the Packers.
Yeah, I punished the Eagles a little bit more. The
Who do
Packers,
you have that Chiefs. You have the Chiefs.
Yeah, I have the Chiefs in. I don't like that they're in, but again, similar to the reason you have the Packers in. Once I cleared the Seahawks at 8, it's like I don't feel good about putting the Ravens there. They didn't have a convincing victory over the Jets. The Packers do not belong there. I didn't want to put the Niners at 9 because I think I
did it for the Packers because they came out and won a game without their best player. You plug in some backup guys. Like presumably they're not even really their second string guy because he's on IR too.
Yeah.
They got a rookie on IR ready to come off, but put on a good running game anyway, which you need to do because Jordan Love stinks. I don't know. He better enjoy it right now because there's going to be a much better Love in the NFL next year.
Exactly. Although I'm still secretly hoping that he decides to just come back to Notre Dame.
And you and I both have the Patriots at 2. Let me tell you why I have some issues there. I do think I love what the Patriots are doing. I love the way they're winning, and I love Drake May, and it's good to see Travion Henderson. The only issue I have with our Patriots at 2 is that I'm not sure we've seen them really beat anyone. They've won the games in front of them, which is what you have to do. But outside of a Bills team, that was their big, hang my hat on this. We've learned that that's not as great probably as it looked. It was still a big win for the franchise and for Vrabel and for May. But I do fear that if the Patriots run into one of these other teams in our top 6 or 7, they could be in some trouble.
Yeah, I think so too. To me, it's more about the Broncos couldn't pass them on a bye. The Colts.
Yeah, I also could not do that. Yeah.
The Colts lost to the Chiefs, so I had to punish them. The Eagles blew a 21-point lead and lost to the Cowboys.
Yep.
So the Patriots for me last week were 4, and 2 teams above them lost. So the math was there to move them. I wouldn't have jumped them over Philly or Indy had Indy and Philly won. So. Right. It's more a product of the
sure. I think I had the Patriots at 2 or 3 last week though. So
you had them at 2. Yeah,
So I kept them there. It wasn't a real reason to move them, but it is something I kind of looked at as they were winning this week, and I'm going, who have they beat? And I'm just like, man, I could have just fallen in love with a little bit of a sham, but hey, they're winning for now, and there's not really that many other great teams anyway.
I think the thing that is the worst on any of these lists for me, and he's not here to defend them this week, is the Green Bay Packers at 7 on EJ's list, and the absence of the Chicago Bears.
Right, you have the Packers, who are worse than the Bears in record. They've played very similar opponents. They've put up better offensive numbers. They have a defense that, for the most part, has played better than the Packers' defense.
Yeah.
A team that is now undefeated against it. I don't know. The Bears are currently undefeated against but it's a stat I didn't mention in the preview. Bears undefeated against the East. Eagles undefeated against the North. And something's got to give. I'm very excited for that.
Well, and also because he didn't have.
The Ravens feels weird too. I mean, I get it. I saw them sitting out there, and I was like, I like what they're doing. They're clearly on the rise, but I don't think they've done anything for me so far that is like, this team is back, right? But they're winning, and I get it. He likes that flashy team. The trouble for me is Lamar Jackson hasn't looked very, very good.
No, but he loves himself some Lamar. He's been on this crusade of defending.
I would
Lamar.
rather see the Ravens at 9 than him have pulled the Chiefs in, because he'd have pulled them in for a different reason than you did.
Yeah.
So
but I want to go back to this Packers thing, because he didn't have the Bears or the Packers on his list last week.
Oh, right. The Packers were out. I remember that.
And the Packers, I mean, yes, they won 23-6, but they beat a Vikings team that is floundering right now.
True.
The Bears beat a Steelers team that, EJ and over the previous seasons, student of the game Kyle Nash have been so incredibly high on because of their culture. Correct. And because of Mike Tomlin and never have a losing season and all of that stuff. So, the Bears, they've won 4 in a row, beating 2 of the same teams that the Packers have won in their 2-game winning streak. The Packers are 3-2 in their last 5. The Bears are 4-1 in their last 5, and their only other losses came earlier in the year. So I just struggle with having the Packers that high.
Right.
And having, if you want to have them in at 10 over the Niners, or if you even want to bump them in at 9 or 8, like I'm not yours, I don't think is egregious having them there. But having them at 7, they are not the 7th best.
Having them at 10 was more of a statement to the rest of the NFL.
Having them at 7 and not having the Bears in, I think.
Well, the Bears, like you have them ahead of the Lions, which I understand records are similar.
Sure.
But have the Packers really done anything over the last 5 or 6 weeks? I know the Lions have. They had an embarrassing showing, but they pulled it off. They took a couple in the chin, call it bad prep, call it bad situation, whatever. I mean, the Eagles game, I think they just got out coached a little bit in that one. It was a chess match and they lost. Because I think the Lions probably looked better in a couple of their losses than the Packers have in a few of their wins. I just don't see a reason to have the Packers above those two teams. I think you're right. I think it's, maybe he was just high on the North and had like Bears 3, Lions 4, and then all of a sudden the Packers at 7. It would still be ridiculous, but it would make a little more sense. So I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, maybe even it's even more not having.
He's just a Jordan Love fan. Do we know this? It's like a
thing. Maybe. But like, and I know like one of the reasons that like he always trusts in the 49ers and the Chiefs and to a degree the Ravens is like this pedigree of like, well, they're always kind of there. They're always kind of there. Like this Packers team hasn't won anything.
When he's getting older, dementia might settle in.
Well, that's true. That's true.
You just go with what you're used to,
Yeah. And I mean, Mike, I'm not ready to put the Broncos that high. I don't necessarily hate it, especially with what Philly and Detroit and Indy and a couple of those other teams have done. I kind of debated Broncos at 2 over New England.
I almost bumped the Broncos up, but the fact they hadn't played.
Right now the Rams look
real good.
Very good. And here's the thing, like when you talk about the Rams situation, they have to be a game better than Philadelphia
right
to get home field because they have that loss to Philly. Now the Rams are in the driver's seat because they're one ahead. What happened this weekend was exactly what the Los Angeles Rams needed to go into this home stretch. And if they don't flinch, the road to the Super Bowl goes through Inglewood. And
he sure does.
And that's a dangerous prospect for the NFC. As long as Matt Stafford stays healthy, that's a dangerous prospect. It really is. Anything else from the rankings?
No, I think we've pretty much covered it. Looks good to me.